In the bustling castle courtyard, the queen stands tall and regal beside her beautiful daughter, the princess. Servants scurry around them, loading treasures onto wagons, preparing for the princess's long journey. The morning sun catches the glint of gold and jewels, a dazzling display of wealth and power. The queen bestows a protective blessing, her voice echoing with love and concern. "This will protect you, my child." On a winding forest road, the princess travels with her maid and Falada, the talking horse. The maid casts envious glances at the princess's fine clothes and treasures. Her eyes gleam with avarice as she plots in the heart of the shadowed woods. Unaware of the treachery brewing, the princess continues her journey through the sun-dappled forest. Beside a clear, babbling stream under the harsh midday sun, the princess's weary face pleads with the maid. "Water, please," she whispers, her voice parched with thirst and exhaustion. The maid stands unmoved, a cruel smirk twisting her lips as she coldly replies, "Fetch it yourself." Defeated, the princess kneels at the water's edge, her delicate hands reaching towards the cool, flowing relief. Sunlight glints off the stream as she cups the water, her weariness a stark contrast to the maid's heartless gaze. Beside the clear stream, the princess kneels, her movements fluid and elegant as she prepares to drink. Unseen, a small cloth, stained with her mother's blood, silently detaches from her grip. The fateful cloth falls, disappearing into the crystalline water without a ripple. The maid watches, her expression veiled, as the stream carries away the last physical tie to the queen. A glint of opportunity sparks in the maid's eyes, hidden but sharp, as she witnesses the silent event. On an overgrown forest road, sunlight dapples through the dense canopy, painting shifting patterns on the ancient path. The maid stands tall and implacable, a figure of stark command against the wild backdrop. The princess, framed by the towering trees, appears delicate, her vulnerability heightened in the forest's embrace. "We will exchange clothes," the maid declares, her voice echoing with unwavering resolve. The maid's intense gaze pierces the princess, demanding a vow of absolute silence. "And you will swear never to reveal this deceit," she continues, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. Along a sun-dappled forest road, the princess, humbly dressed as a maid, guides Falada with gentle hands. Her simple garments belie the regal bearing that time and circumstance cannot diminish. In stark contrast, the maid parades ahead, adorned in the princess's finery, her face beaming with ill-gotten triumph. The stolen jewels glitter cruelly under the sunlight, a false crown on a usurped throne. The road stretches onward, each step a testament to the princess's quiet resolve amidst treachery. The prince's palace bursts with vibrant life as the false princess makes her grand entrance. A wave of fanfare and jubilant cheers erupts, celebrating her arrival. Amidst the spectacle, the true princess remains hidden, a shadow in her own kingdom. Unseen and unheard, she watches the charade unfold, her heart heavy with sorrow. The palace echoes with false joy, a stark contrast to the true princess's silent suffering. While the impostor basks in the limelight, the rightful heir fades further into obscurity. Sunlight stabs through the gloom of the palace stables, illuminating dancing dust motes and the scent of hay. A gamey odor hangs heavy in the air, mingling with the straw and muck underfoot. Dressed in humble peasant garb, the true princess trudges wearily through the filth, her face etched with profound sorrow. Nearby, a young boy, Conrad, whistles an aimless tune as he scatters feed for the geese. She is utterly alone, a solitary figure amidst the bustling life of the stables. Her heart, a leaden weight in her chest, sinks with each heavy step she takes. Inside the opulent palace hall, the false bride's face is a canvas of fear, her eyes darting nervously around. Unseen, she signals to a nearby guard with a subtle, almost imperceptible nod. The guard, understanding her silent command, melts into the shadows, disappearing from sight. In her mind, the death of the horse, Falada, is the key to keeping her secret buried. She believes this act of cruelty will secure her deception, solidifying her place in the palace. Under the cover of night, the true princess plots her grim revenge. Falada's severed head becomes a symbol of her suffering. The towering palace gateway transforms into a silent witness of her pain. The act, though gruesome, brings a chilling solace to the anguished princess. Under the radiant morning sun, the palace gateway stands in majestic splendor. Beneath the towering arch, the princess walks, her face a canvas of sorrow. Tears begin to well in her eyes, reflecting the unbearable weight in her heart. She raises her gaze, her expression a mixture of grief and resignation. A single tear escapes, tracing a path down her cheek as she whispers a lament. "Alas, Falada, hanging there," she murmurs, her voice heavy with sorrow and loss. At the palace gateway, an echoing sorrow permeates the air. Falada's severed head rests on the ground, a stark testament to betrayal. A spectral voice emanates from the head, filled with longing and lament. Falada's head speaks, its words chilling. "Alas, young queen, passing by, if this your mother knew, her heart would break in two." In Goose Meadow, the princess's golden hair shines, catching the sunlight as she lovingly tends to the geese. A serene tableau of pastoral beauty. The princess's presence illuminates the meadow. Conrad's shadow falls across the idyllic scene as he slyly reaches for a strand of the princess's radiant hair. His fingers inch closer, driven by a desire to capture a piece of her golden splendor. The air is thick with unspoken intentions as Conrad's bold move threatens to disrupt the peaceful atmosphere. In Goose Meadow, Conrad reaches for the princess, a playful challenge sparkling in her eyes. The wind dances through the tall grass, stirring a sense of freedom and light-hearted mischief. "Blow, wind. Blow Conrad's hat away. Let him chase it far today," the princess exclaims, her voice blending with the rustling meadow. The wind answers her call, promising a chase filled with laughter and the boundless joy of the meadow. In Goose Meadow, Conrad's face is flushed with a mix of anger and defeat as he gestures emphatically toward the distant trees. He paces restlessly before the old king, his agitation rippling through the serene meadow. Conrad's sharp words cut through the tranquil air, laced with a growing frustration. "I cannot understand it, Your Majesty." He pauses, struggling to articulate his bewilderment. "The Goose Girl, her behavior is most strange." His eyes reflect a strange fascination as he continues, almost mesmerized. "And her hair. It shimmers in the sunlight, unlike anything I have ever seen." The king listens with an unreadable expression, a silent observer to Conrad's escalating turmoil. Across the sun-drenched Goose Meadow, the princess stands serene, unaware of the king's watchful gaze. Hidden behind a dense thicket, the king peers out, his expression unreadable as he observes the scene unfolding before him. The princess's lips move, her words unheard by the king, but the intensity of her expression speaks volumes. A silent, watchful king observes the princess, a growing curiosity etched upon his face. In the heart of Goose Meadow, the princess's secret meeting unfolds, veiled from the world, witnessed only by the king and Falada's silent head. Flickering candlelight casts dancing shadows across the king's chambers, illuminating the cold stone walls. The king sits heavily on his throne, his face a mask of deep concern. Princess stands before him, her head bowed, concealing her true thoughts. The king's voice echoes in the silent chamber. "Tell me, princess, who are you truly, and why do you carry such sorrow in your eyes?" Silence hangs heavy as princess remains mute, her secret locked within. The king's command rings out, desperate and demanding. "Speak, child, I command you," but her lips remain sealed. "I cannot." Flickering torchlight casts long, dancing shadows across the ornate tapestries of the king's chambers, painting the scene with unease. The king's face, etched with deep worry, betrays the heavy burden he carries. He gestures towards a large, imposing iron stove, its dark metal gleaming ominously in the dim light. In hushed tones, the king implores, "Speak to the stove, child. Tell it everything." A hidden panel in the wall conceals the king. His presence, a silent promise. "I promise your secret will be safe." In the king's chambers, the princess stands before the ornate stove, its metal surface gleaming in the candlelight. Her voice, a mere whisper in the vast chamber, begins to unveil a tale of deep sorrow and betrayal. She confesses the maid's cruel deception, the theft of her identity casting a shadow over her delicate features. The princess recounts the loss of Falada, her loyal horse, the depth of her sorrow echoing in the silent chamber. In the king's chambers, shadows dance as the king, moved by the heartfelt story, emerges from his hidden sanctuary. The king's face, etched with newfound determination, steps forward into the dim light. His eyes reflect a solemn promise, the weight of his decision heavy in the air. "I promise," the king declares, his voice resonating with regal authority. His words hang like a sacred vow, a pledge to right the wrongs of the past. "I promise to help you reclaim your rightful place," he assures, his gaze unwavering, filled with resolve. Inside the grand palace, the king delicately drapes royal garments around the princess, each movement filled with care. The rich fabrics shimmer, slowly restoring the princess's lost dignity and radiant beauty. With the final touch, the king steps back, his eyes reflecting a mix of sorrow and resolve. A profound determination settles upon his face, a silent promise etched in every line. He stands ready to confront his son, the weight of truth heavy on his shoulders, prepared to reveal all. A grand banquet unfolds in the palace hall, nobles adorned in elaborate attire, their laughter echoing through the opulent space. Beside the prince, the false bride radiates serenity, a delicate smile masking the doom that looms over the celebration. The king rises from his throne, his commanding presence silencing the hall as he prepares to address the assembled court. His voice booms, resonating with authority, a pivotal announcement hanging heavy in the air. Within the opulent palace banquet hall, countless candles cast a warm glow upon rich tapestries. The king sits upon his throne, his stern gaze fixed upon the false bride. She stands before him, adorned in borrowed finery, oblivious to the impending trap. The air crackles with unspoken tension as the king prepares to unveil her deception. His voice echoes through the hall, a chilling question hanging in the air. "Tell me, what punishment should be given to someone who betrays their master?" A flicker of unease crosses her face as the gravity of his words dawns upon her. In the grand palace banquet hall, the false bride's voice resounds, filling the space with chilling resolve. The king, a figure of stoic power, remains unreadable upon his throne, absorbing every word. "Such a person should be placed in a barrel studded with nails and dragged to death by horses," she declares, her words a venomous decree. A wave of murmurs sweeps through the courtiers, their faces etched with a blend of fear and morbid fascination. The hall holds its breath, awaiting the king's reaction to the false bride's horrifying pronouncement. In the palace courtyard, the false bride stands shackled, facing the harsh judgment she once delivered. Understanding dawns in the prince's eyes as he recognizes the deception, a surge of remorse washing over him. He rushes towards the true princess, his steps quick with purpose and regret. Taking her hand, a silent vow of love and loyalty passes between them, sealing their destinies.